3 days ago, cartel violence erupted in Puerto Vallarta and Jalisco. Approximately 26,000 Canadians found themselves stranded. Flights were cancelled, roads were blocked, and emergency advisories were in place. The situation left many fearful for their lives, scrambling to get home. As flights were cancelled, highways were disrupted, and no one knew what would happen next. Joining us from Puerto Vallarta is Kelowna resident Gord Vizzutti. How are you, Gord?
Hi, Mohini. Very, very fine. Finally, after two tense days, I'm feeling much better, as are all Canadians here in Puerto Vallarta and surrounding area. We had 2 days of a very tense situation here. Information that was not really forthcoming. The information flow isn't as you might expect it would be when something surprising takes local authorities like this incident did. But again, today, I would say we're almost 100% back to normal, almost.
So, when you look out of your window, what do you see?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm starting to see. For the past 2 days, the only thing I've seen are residents of my condominium complex. We were under a lockdown. There was nowhere to go anyway. Everything was closed. All stores were closed. All restaurants were closed. There was a word on the street, actually an official word, to shelter in place because of threats from the cartel at one point to shoot at random anyone they saw on the street. As you know, that did not materialize, thankfully. We were just hunkered down. There was basically one or two motorcycles would go by every now and then. No buses, no cars, no taxis, nothing. It was absolutely spooky, eerily quiet. And I was caught in the middle of it quite by accident. This would be at about noon on Sunday. I had just come out of a grocery store that's located right on the highway, as many of them are. It's about a 30-minute walk from my home, and I enjoy it. And I came out of the grocery store to a big plume of black smoke going straight up. Obviously, something on fire. And I thought, wow, I better go get some pictures of that and impress my wife and everyone. And as I got closer, I saw that it was a vehicle on the side of the highway. There are two approaches to the highway, one on each side, and then the highway itself. It's the major route, Route 200, that goes north and south through this area of Mexico. And I thought, well, that's amazing. I have also noticed that there's no vehicles on the highway anymore, completely deserted except for some motorcycles ripping up and down, and these little minibuses that they have around here called collectivos. It's the most common form of bus transport for most Mexicans. And I thought, oh my gosh, there has been an accident on the bridge, and there's fire and explosions, and here are these people probably going to the aid of some of the victims on top of the bridge. I thought, well.
And you never thought this could be some sort of a violent outburst or anything like that? You were thinking more accident?
I thought it was a terrible accident from the top of the bridge, which had spilled over onto the surrounding, to the underpass below. I crossed the highway. I saw another vehicle on fire. This was a commercial vehicle. And at that point, I started to think something was up. And I really wasn't quite sure. I wasn't about to check my phone because it was smoky. It was frightening. And I witnessed one of the minibuses go tearing up to the top of the overpass, and it was immediately set on fire by some of the people.
So at what point were you told to hunker down and not come outside? Otherwise, they could be shooting at random.
Obviously, the word was out while I was in the grocery store. So I wasn't privy to it. And I was by myself, wasn't with anybody. Nobody inside the grocery store was aware of this. And so I thought, listen, I've just got to hold my breath, get through this cloud of black smoke from the burning bus, and get on that road to get back home, which is the Avenue Nuevo Vallarta, 4-lane road that goes directly to my home. As I'm walking towards home, there's a French Canadian man on a bicycle. No one else on the road, absolutely deserted. They call this road Restaurant Row. There's so many restaurants on it. So and small commercial businesses. On a Sunday, it's absolutely teeming with activity from tourists and Mexicans alike, out for brunch and enjoying it. And it was absolutely deserted. The odd motorcycle going by. I noticed the motorcycle drivers had masks on. Some eerie-looking pickup trucks and SUVs driving very slowly back and forth doing
That
loops.
must have given you reason to pause and wonder what was going down.
That's when I got a little worried, and a French Canadian man on a bicycle approached me, the only other person on the road, and he was frantic. He said, "Listen, I live on the other side of the highway here that's on fire. I need to get home. Can you help me?" And I know of a couple of side roads. I said, you could try this road, you could try that. I said, I'm not really sure what's going on with the highway, but it's all, there are vehicles on fire everywhere. He said, oh my God, you haven't heard. The word is that the cartel is closing all the routes in and out of Puerto Vallarta, all the major highways, which is typical. They want to disrupt the flow of police action. They're looting stores, they're burning stores, and they're threatening to shoot anyone that is on the street after 1 o'clock. And I looked at my phone, and it's 12:40.
Oh my God! You had 20 minutes to get home.
20 minutes to make a 30-minute walk. So I thanked him, wished him well, and he did the same to me. And now it was a tense walk home. It was a fast walk, kind of from tree to tree, from business doorway to business doorway. As I watched the vehicles slowly looping by, it became obvious that these were cartel members, at least.
Yeah, for you,
I think
you thought
that's
so.
a solid speculation.
Gord, what did you do for the 2 days you had to hunker down and not go anywhere? Thank God you had gone grocery shopping, or you'd have had no food.
That's a good point. And a lot of people in my there's 84 units here. A lot of people are permanent residents, and they didn't have a chance to go shopping. Some of them, 2 of them in particular, are elderly. One has mobility issues, and there was quite a gathering of residents down by the pool. It's where people meet every day, and we kind of discussed the situation. And made sure that the people who needed to be checked on were checked on, made sure we had water and so on, and that everybody was okay, because there was no food to be had, nobody open, and we didn't know how long this would take. I was lucky, as you mentioned, I had just loaded up. So that was kind of the same, Mohini. We were locked down, stuck inside, except for the outside pool area that we used to meet at, and just waited for the next word.
Gord, now, in moments like this, you see the best in people and the worst. So how would you describe it with all your fellow Canadians who were there?
Well, first of all, fellow Canadians rallying to support each other, I don't think is anything new. It always amazes me. To have experienced it is very heartful, made me proud to be a Canadian. But it also gave me an entirely new aspect on Mexican people, who by their nature are very giving, very loving, very generous, even though they're people who have the least to give, and very helpful. As an example, the condominium complex here has some permanent staff members. They act as security. They man the parking lot, make sure that the place is clean, do small repairs and whatnot. 3 of the men who were on duty that day stayed here under lockdown.
Nice.
And we provided them with some food, obviously, but at risk to themselves, potentially, and, foregoing the love and worry that their family members had at home. These guys stayed behind and made sure we were okay. And we saw a lot of acts of generosity like that. The Mexican people are absolutely wonderful. The cartel does not represent them in any way.
So what now, Gord? What now?
Well, I'm happy to say that yesterday, Monday, things started to slowly open. I'm above a complex that has 7 restaurants in it, and 2 of them opened up late yesterday afternoon. This is a good sign because people need food and the other people need jobs and the business owners need income. And as of today, I went down this morning for a little walk, and all of the restaurant owners told me that they'll be open today for business. So that's great. People on the street again, nice to see. There's a bike path and a walking path near the beach, just a few blocks away from here. It's got people on it again. Nowhere near as busy as it would have been on a Saturday, but that stands to reason because of so many flights being canceled. People didn't get a chance to come in. So sparse, but back in action. Buses
and are you coming back? You said flights
No.
are... You're not coming back?
No, well, eventually I will.
Yeah.
I have no plan to cut my my stay here short. No, I'm here for several more weeks. Spent the whole winter here, and I'll see it through. We're back to normal. Just before we started talking, Mohini, I saw that the airport here in Puerto Vallarta posted a notice that they are at 95% of their typical operating capacity
already.
as of noon today. So I also got word from Air Canada that Air Canada will be putting their larger airplanes on the route to Puerto Vallarta, the 787 Dreamliner it's called, and that will allow them to move 250 more people per flight, back to Canada. So they're doing their bit. With the one exception is Flair Airlines. Flair's having trouble getting themselves back to Puerto Vallarta, but flights are back on, people are moving out, and people are coming in.
Gord, the fact that you're staying there, finishing your holiday, makes you either crazy or courageous. Last word to you before we wrap up.
It may be slightly skewed toward the crazy part, but it became clear to me, I think, and most people, that the cartel wanted to deliver a message to the government, and they did. And the point was taken. They did not intend to hurt any tourists. And I think that.
But they will hurt the tourism economy. That's what they will hurt.
They will, Mohini, but I don't think the extent of it would be as bad as if people were being harmed, shot, injured, taken hostage. So as far as I know, checking social media sites, people who had plans to come here within the next few days and weeks are sticking to them.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Because the tourism is the backbone of their economy.
In this part of Mexico, it is the economy. Pretty much everything is centered on tourism, whether it's real estate, restaurant, food, or the supply chain that goes along with all of that. Without it, it would be absolutely devastating. The Mexicans that live and breathe here in the Puerto Vallarta area, Jalisco, Nayarit, Bucerias, they're all tied to this industry. They don't make a lot of money. They need this industry at this time of year just to make ends meet.
And, yes.
I would encourage anyone to
Your last word to you, Gord, as we wrap up, to all your Canadians here, what would you like to say?
Thanks for your support. Thanks for your interest. I've had so many calls, including from you, of course, to find out how I'm doing and what the situation is, and it's all fine. If you had a trip planned to this part of the world, don't be discouraged. It's all fine and back to normal now, and it is paradise.
Thank you, Gord. I'll be checking in on you for the next couple of days to make sure you're okay. You look great. Enjoy the rest of your vacation and be safe.
It was so nice speaking to you again. Thanks, Mohini.
Take care. Thank you all for watching from all of us here on Chai and Chat with Mohini. Goodbye.